Jusqu'ici, très beau décollage, très belle trajectoire. Le vol du vaisseau Soyouz MS-28 avec 2 cosmonautes russes et un américain direction l'ISS semble franchement réussi. Sauf qu'au sol, la seule rampe de lancement russe capable d'envoyer des humains dans l'espace est maintenant complètement HS. On est au Kazakhstan, sur le cosmodrome russe de Baïkonour, et cette installation juste ici est la seule qui permette à la Russie de faire décoller des vols habités vers l'espace. Alors que la plupart des spectateurs se repassent en boucle le départ de la fusée, des journalistes spécialisés en aéronautique se sont attardés sur le pas de tir. Selon Russian Space Web, au moment du décollage, la plateforme d'accès de service se serait effondrée et aurait fini par tomber dans la tranchée inférieure. Ces mêmes sources estiment qu'il faudra au moins 2 ans pour remettre en état la rampe de lancement. De son côté, l'agence spatiale russe Roscosmos reste prudente sur l'ampleur des dégâts.
La rampe de lancement a été inspectée.
Des dommages ont été constatés sur plusieurs de ses composants. Toutes les pièces de rechange nécessaires sont disponibles pour les réparations.
Et les dommages seront réparés prochainement.
Prochainement va surtout se poser la question de la sécurité des équipages envoyés dans la Station Spatiale Internationale, puisqu'en cas d'avarie du vaisseau Soyouz MS-28, si le pas de tir n'est pas réparé à temps, la Russie ne pourra compter que sur les lanceurs américains pour récupérer ses cosmonautes.
She's looking right at you, Bill. Oh my God! Oh. Are you? That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen out here. I've never seen anything. Look at its eye. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
You. What have you got there? I said.
Turn around and go. Turn around and go.
That's a nice little sword. Worth 100 pigeons, a sword like that.
Nothing's worth anything to dead men.
Just hear those sleigh bells ting-a-ling-a-ring-a-ting-a-ting-a-ling-a-too. Ring-a-ling-a-ling-a-ding-dong. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with a Jew.
We've just learned something really cool about cancer from whales. Let's talk about it. So one of the biggest mysteries in biology is called Peto's paradox, and it goes like this. The bigger an animal is, the more cells it has, and the more DNA it has, and the more copies of that DNA have to get made as those cells divide. This presents a lot of opportunity for DNA mutation. And the buildup of mutations is one of the major culprits behind cancer. So you would think that larger animals with more cells would be more likely to get cancer and die young. But bowhead whales are not only some of the largest animals on Earth, they're also some of the longest lived. The Inupiat people of Alaska, who have spent a lot of time studying these whales, have said that they can live for 2 human lifetimes. But with all of those cells and all of that DNA and all of that time for the DNA to mutate, how do they live so long? Well, as of last week, we actually have a pretty strong idea. Scientists started by checking if whale cells are just better equipped to handle mutations than human cells are, and they did this by deliberately causing cancer-associated mutations in the whale cells and seeing how many it took for them to become malignant. Surprisingly, the whale cells actually seemed less able to handle mutations than the human cells, so the scientists switched gears and they started looking at how frequently those mutations actually occur in nature. They found that whale DNA actually mutates at a much lower rate than human DNA. So one of the major things that causes mutations is what are called double-strand breaks. Your DNA looks like this. It's made up of 2 strands that coil around each other. If both of those strands break, you have 2 broken ends of DNA flapping around in the wind, which is very, very bad. When this happens, your cells go into panic mode and they try to fix it as quickly as possible. And usually this means just kind of slapping those broken ends back together in a process called non-homologous end joining. But if anything has happened that has damaged those 2 loose ends, then just pasting them back together as is going to result in an intact but messed up DNA molecule. It's kind of like gluing a mirror back together.
You can still see the crack in that mother.
But whales, as it turns out, are really good at non-homologous end joining. It's like their cells are melting the mirror back together rather than just gluing it. And the scientists figured out that a major tool that their cells use for this process is called CIRBP. Now, human cells also have CIRBP, but it's built a little different and in a way that seems to make it way less effective. And when scientists shoved the whale version of the protein into human cells, those human cells got better at non-homologous end joining, resulting in fewer mutations. Now, this obviously has huge implications for human cancer research, and I think it's a really great example of how breakthroughs in medicine can come from the most unlikely sources. Evolution is a crazy thing, and a lot of the creatures that we share this planet with are both similar enough to us and different enough from us that by studying them, we can learn a lot about who we are. We've just learned something really cool about cancer. We've just learned
all work and no play. That's the way it is, ain't it? There's a rhythm deep inside of you, and you must get reacquainted. When was the last time you danced? When was the last time you danced? Well, come rock with me, baby. Dance with me, darling. Step with me, sweetheart. The world is watching. Under an endless sky, wish I could fly away forever and ever. And the poetry is so pure when we are on the floor together. It's been a long time. When was the last time you danced? When was the last time you danced? Well, come on.
We've just learned something really cool.